what you're gonna say. I can't believe what you're alluding to, Max. Let it out. Let it out. What are you trying to say?
He is going. This is my hot take. You just calm down. He is a great, great fighter. A good big man doesn't beat a great little man. It takes something more than a good big man to do that. And Lopez is more than just good.
Punches are not made, they are born. And this guy, Lopez, was born to punch. And he's got one other thing going for him, Stephen and Max. He reminds me of Pacquiao, Lopez, in a way, not just with power in either hand, but his closing step, his ability to explode. You know, kind of like an athlete in football, basketball, any of those sports where it's not about running a 40. It's about the quickness. It's about the closing step, the burst. He's got that burst. Not everybody's got that burst.
Tonight the debate explodes as Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman go head-to-head over Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez, and the stakes feel bigger than pride. Is surgical skill enough to silence raw power, or does explosive firepower rewrite destiny? One side trusts Shakur's icy control and ring IQ. The other rides with Teofimo's speed, strength, and daring resume. When brains meet bombs, legends get tested, narratives shatter, and only one truth survives under the lights. Who really rules tonight?
New York City, January 31st, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez. I always say it, when boxing gets it right, no other sport comes close. And this is boxing getting it right. The best fighting the best. Both fighters believe that this matchup settles the argument about who leads the new era. So what do we think of the Styles matchup, guys? This is a high-speed chess match a la Sugar Ray Leonard or Pernell Whitaker, Leonard and Benitez, or Pernell Whitaker, Buddy McGirt, or is it a Jerry versus Jerry?
Stephen A. Smith didn't hold back when breaking down Teofimo Lopez's defensive sharpness, pointing straight at the lightning-fast reflexes that make him dangerous in close quarters. He emphasized how Lopez doesn't just block shots. He slips, rolls, and pivots out of trouble with split-second reactions that frustrate opponents. In tight exchanges, where fights are often decided, Teofimo's ability to avoid clean punches while staying ready to counter gives him a serious edge, turning defense into instant offense and shifting momentum in seconds flat.
Be sure to show the world that at 23 years of age, I'm a champion. And you're going to have to come take this from me. I'm not giving you a damn thing. I loved his quickness. We know about Lopez's power, but I'm talking about his quickness defensively. But I saw Lopez being elusive. And I love that because it's one thing for you to have the power and the quickness to go along with the power offensively. A lot of guys can look good until they get hit. There were times where he got hit, and there were other times where he was slipped.
Stephen A. Smith repeatedly highlights Teofimo Lopez's proven habit of elevating his performance when the lights shine brightest, arguing that big moments don't rattle him. They unlock another level. According to Smith, Lopez carries a rare confidence against elite opposition, never shrinking from reputations or hype. He often references Lopez's victory over Vasily Lomachenko as the ultimate proof, a night where timing, fearlessness, and sharp execution came together. For Smith, that performance wasn't luck. It revealed a fighter wired for pressure, built for championship stages, and dangerous whenever greatness is required on the sport's most unforgiving and unforgettable nights.
I know that Lomachenko's footwork is exceptional. It's practically unrivaled. So you could see what he's done to numerous fighters, which contributed to them quitting, like Nicholas Walters and others. He tried that with Lopez. It didn't work. Lopez's footwork worked. His speed was there. Some power, obviously, but his elusivity is what impressed me most. The fact that he was able to slip a number, not all, but a number of those
Lomachenko. He wouldn't let Lomachenko establish his outside foot.
And I loved it.
Yeah, for me, coming into this fight, obviously I always talk to Max about fighting. I love it. I was thinking, and Lopez mentioned it pre-fight, everybody thought it was going to be very Mayweather-Canelo when they fought, and that he would be outclassed. If you look at the first 6 rounds, it was about patience. He was patient. He didn't rush himself. He used his jab, which is something that we aren't used to seeing him.
Teddy Atlas stepped into the debate with Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman, warning that Teofimo Lopez faces his toughest puzzle yet against a true pound-for-pound master. Atlas emphasized that Shakur Stevenson's balance, timing, and defensive discipline sit at an elite tier, built on fundamentals that don't crack under pressure. He argued Lopez's explosiveness and athletic flair are dangerous, But raw tools alone can't outsolve a technician who controls distance, pace, and angles, turning every mistake into a lesson and every opening into punishment when stakes rise under bright lights.
Challenge lies ahead for Lopez this upcoming weekend.
What challenge? The challenge of fighting, for me, my estimation, the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. Either him or Crawford. You choose it, it doesn't matter. You could flip-flop either one of them. They're the two top guys. The challenge is to get his bomb to the target. Yeah, like Customato, my mentor, used to say, you know, Teddy, having power is great. But if you don't have a means to get it to the target, it has no value. It's like a military weapon, he used to say. If you don't have a missile, it just blows up and makes a big hole in the ground. So that's the challenge. Get it to the target. Get it to the chin or the body. Might be a good idea with a guy who moves his head so much, but get it to the target with Lomachenko. So keep yourself together mentally with all that going on, with all the chaos stuff coming at you, and don't get discouraged. Don't get frustrated if he's hard.
Kellerman repeatedly emphasizes that Stevenson doesn't simply win fights, he disarms opponents piece by piece. According to him, Shakur's footwork keeps rivals chasing shadows, while his distance control erases their offense before it starts. Kellerman notes that Stevenson's anticipation allows him to read intentions early, shutting down attacks and forcing hesitation. By dictating range, tempo, and rhythm, Stevenson controls every second of a bout, turning high-level contenders into cautious followers and proving dominance without chaos or unnecessary risk against elite opposition on boxing's biggest stage.
Shakur is one of those guys and who comes along, and I think this is really the question about him. I said he is one of those. Is he one of those guys? Like Purnell, like Roy, like Floyd, their defenses were so good, and they boxed in a way where they weren't going to take unnecessary risks. They weren't running and holding. You know, I had a problem with the second half of the Haney-Norman fight because I felt like they continue to box. Purnell did, Roy did, and Shakur does now, right? But when a guy has those advantages in boxing skill and speed, and they don't take risks, they are almost impossible to beat. So no matter who Purnell was fighting, no matter who Roy was fighting, if someone would have asked me who they're going to be, they're fighting Godzilla, Purnell. They're fighting Roy. Shakur has that look to me, and the style to me.
He admitted both fighters bring elite skill sets, but stressed that Shakur Stevenson isn't built around knockout power. Instead, he explained, Shakur's success comes from precision timing, airtight defense, and total control of range. Rather than chasing dramatic finishes, Stevenson breaks opponents down mentally, round by round, removing their options and confidence. His style is about minimizing risk while maximizing accuracy, turning fights into calculated chess matches. In that system, clean punches, positioning, and ring IQ matter more than raw force or highlight reel knockouts under the bright championship lights.
The difference here is that they're both twitchy, they're both fast, they're both excellent boxers. Teo's a puncher. I know it hasn't shown up in recent fights, but we have watched both of their careers. Shakur is not a puncher.
No.
Teo is.
Teo it can be an explosive, I hit you with a shot you don't see, and you are out cold type puncher.
And talking about power, strength too. I think Teo's going to be the much stronger guy in there. Shakur Stevenson's not a strong guy.
I think he's getting stronger.
Me too.
Yeah,
I was about to say.
agree.
But he was first at 140 though. That's what I'm saying. I'm not disrespecting.
I feel like, but I also feel like that Shakur might surprise you, Mike, with his physical strength. Physical strength, as we all know, doesn't always translate to punching power.
Sure, of course not.
But when he was a younger fighter, he looked like he could be moved around by his opponent. It doesn't look like that anymore.
No, he's definitely matured in his body. But first fight at 140, Teo's what? I think this is maybe his fifth fight at 140, something like that.
It's true, but Shakur has a frame where he can put on 140 very comfortably.
This showdown isn't just another title fight. It's a legacy moment where skill, pride, and identity collide under the brightest lights. If Shakur Stevenson dominates, he cements himself as boxing's supreme technician and kicks the door wide open for megafights that define eras. But if Teofimo Lopez's power, speed, and fearless mentality crack the code, the division flips overnight and a new storm takes over. One man fights to protect perfection, the other to rewrite destiny, and that tension makes every round dangerous. Timing, discipline, and heart will decide who breaks and who rises when pressure peaks. So now it's your turn. Who wins, and how does it happen? Drop your prediction below and stand on it. If you love real fight breakdowns, bold takes, and non-stop boxing energy, hit subscribe, smash like, and share this episode with every fight fan you know. The road to greatness runs through battles like this.